super duper mother effer. It's the hang. Back to hanging.
We're back. Hi, Mike.
Hello, Matt. been a 3-week hiatus.
We've made it through. In the last 3 weeks, Donna's bout with COVID happened.
Yeah.
2 hurricanes.
Yeah.
Another potential assassination attempt on the Prez.
Did that happen in that time?
I think another one did, yeah. And then
the golf course one?
a near-death experience for myself, as well as potential cancer diagnosis. It's been a whirlwind.
Wow. Don't go to the doctor. That's what I do. I don't go to the doctor.
Well, I went.
Yeah.
I had to.
I definitely know they're going to tell me I have cancer, so I'm not going.
Oh, you're riddled with cancer, Mike.
I'm going to be stage 4 by the time I find out, for sure.
They're going to tell you, you've got 2 weeks left. Get your affairs in order. That's what they're going to give you. Time to get your affairs in order.
I think if I found out, like, okay, so I go to the doctor and say, well, stage 4 pancreatic cancer, buddy, you got 3 weeks to live. And you could have caught this earlier, but they'd be like, that's a lot of trips to the doctor.
Yeah, I mean, I could have caught it earlier, but
I had a lot of good years. I had a lot I'm quitting while I'm ahead.
Well, even trying to figure out if it's cancer or not, it is a whole thing because, okay, you've got to make the appointment with your regular doctor, all right? Then your regular doctor says, well, I don't know what it is. Let's schedule you for another appointment with somebody else.
Oh, it's always that.
So then you get another appointment, and then they go, all right, well, I'm not sure what it is, so let's do a ultrasound. So then you go to another appointment for the ultrasound.
Yeah, that's 3 days.
Oh, but more than that.
And then you got to go back to the doctor so you can get the results from your ultrasound. It's like your CAT scan.
Getting hit with bills, because it's like you made me do multiple trips so you could sting me for like 3 different visitation fees, right? I don't know.
You can't do anything because your regular doctor doesn't tell you anything anymore. He's just a reference guy. He's going to go, I think you need to go here.
A specialist. Yeah, then you call in the specialist.
They don't hit your doctor, unless you got something very basic, you're going to go see a specialist.
Yep.
And that's a bunch of trips.
And you're already knowing that going in. Like, I know that my doctor's not going to be able to tell me what it is, so I know I'm going to have to take another day, another few hours of my time to do the next one and then the next one. It's just,
I've gone to, I had various things wrong with me that I couldn't figure out. Various pains.
Yeah.
And I'm not a hypochondriac, so I went to the doctor for a couple of these things. And after I went to, and they're like, we don't know, maybe it's this, it wasn't that. Maybe it's this, it wasn't that. About third or fourth doctor, supposed to be some of the best doctors of this. And I was like, okay, well, this is a waste of time. I would just live with whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
And that's what I've done for like 20-something years.
So, well, all right. Mine, I mean, how many times, honestly, guys out there, women I think are different because women check themselves. You know what I mean? Like, they've been conditioned to sort of check themselves for breast lumps and these sort of things.
Yeah.
Guys, have you ever just felt around your body and say, oh, that's weird? Or just, the little kind of things, right? Do you ever check yourself for lumps?
No.
Oh, right.
I don't. I mean, you're supposed to check your testicles. You're supposed to give them a good feel for life.
I haven't even done that lately.
I don't do that. Probably should.
But I don't know. It all feels like a bag of nonsense down there. So I don't know what I'm supposed to be feeling for or what I'm not. Like, I don't know what's going on. I wouldn't be the one. I can't self-diagnose myself on my scrotum to be like, oh, that's right or wrong. It's a jumbled mess in that thing.
Maybe if you felt something rock hard down there.
I wouldn't know if that's supposed to be there or not. And then I'm going to make an appointment. They go, that's just part of your scrotum. Don't worry about it. It's like, I don't know. Anyways.
I don't know. I probably should, but I probably won't.
Yeah.
I probably won't.
I accidentally came across this lump of mine. I was just feeling my knee or whatever. And I was like, huh, that's weird. And I was like, And then I felt my other leg, and I'm going, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
And I hesitated on telling anybody, but I'm going, let me just, all right, fine. I'll tell my wife. So I showed her, and she goes, oh, no, you got to go. You got to go. So made the appointment, did all that stuff. But, yeah. Not cancer.
No.
Found out yesterday.
What was it?
It's some sort of, I don't exactly know what it is. It's some sort of like a cyst thing.
It's the cyst thing.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to have you. Are you
Sometimes
okay
you
with
just get-
feeling my knee?
Sure. Sometimes people just get cysts.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
never.
that's probably the explanation. And
All right, so you can't really see it, right, from here, unless I were to tuck my knee up, right? Feel here,
all right,
soft,
all right.
and then feel here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a big deal. It's a big deal.
All right. See, I don't know if you're kidding with me or not.
No, it's a big deal. It's large. How? And does it hurt?
No, not
It
at all.
doesn't hurt.
No pain, no anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I'm just gonna
weird.
leave it. You know, what's it? If it's not causing any
what did
damage.
the doctor say? He was just like, you just got some kind of deal.
I couldn't read the doctor mumbo jumbo, but my wife basically she ended up putting whatever they said into Chat GPT, and Chat GPT kind of broke it down a little simpler.
Yeah.
And it's basically a fluid cyst, but it's like 2.5 centimeters or something like that. So I don't know what's.
But if it doesn't hurt, that would, I guess, you just live with it, right?
I guess I'm just gonna go with it. I mean, until something happens.
I mean, I don't know, because I had I hurt my knee, and then I got it was called a Baker's cyst behind my knee.
Yep.
And it hurt like a bitch. I mean, it hurt, and when I'd sit, and since I sit every day, for 3 hours straight, it was painful. Then it just eventually went away, fortunately.
Oh, really? It just went
But
away?
I mean, there's nothing you can do for it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I actually went to the doctor just because I finally got a physical, and they were like, yeah, there's nothing you can do for it.
what are you gonna do about it?
What are you gonna, yeah.
But I guess we should, as guys, probably be more aware of our bodies and feel if something's wrong. But I don't do that. I just happen to catch this thing.
The guy thing.
Yeah, I think it is.
I mean, I'd look something up on WebMD. It's probably have the symptoms of cancer, but if there's one of it was possibly dengue fever, I go, yeah, it's probably the dengue fever. I'm gonna write out the dengue fever.
Go with the dengue fever.
I'm not gonna go see the doctor.
No, I hear you.
Yeah, yeah, to the death of me, probably.
Well,
nobody to blame but myself.
I mean, does your wife ever check you?
No, check me.
I mean, for real,
No,
for lumps or kind of eyeball you up and down or anything like that.
not really.
Maybe should. Just for giggles.
Honey, look at my back. Does it look different than it did the last time you saw it? It's got any. I mean, I could have. Lord knows what I got going on. I haven't looked at my back in a long time.
I'll check your back for you if you want. I got your back, Mike. It has been a few weeks though, man. Power's back and running. I see. Internet's back up here. Everything's good, I presume.
Yep. How long did you go without power?
I think it was. I want to say 4 days.
Yeah, that was us too. 4 days.
It was absolute misery, and it made me realize I'm not built for that. And if there was some sort of apocalypse or something like that, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
And then it makes you rethink. All right, I should probably get a generator for next time, but what are the chances of a hurricane hitting here again? I'll wait on, and then I'm going to find myself in the same predicament, I'm sure.
Yeah. Donna happened to get a generator for $100 at an estate sale.
Oh, estate sales are the best.
Because the guy was just like, yeah, I'm just, my dad died, and you can have $100, and so brand new, and so we Trace got it fired up.
Beautiful.
It'd been sitting there for about 2 years doing nothing, so we were afraid it wasn't going to work, but it worked. Oh, kept the fridges going for 4 days. Didn't have to worry about that.
We lost all the groceries. All of my king crab legs that I had got on a really good sale and just kept in the deep freezer for a special occasion. That's gone. But I used the Tesla that was kind of nice to have because I was still in my car with AC and watching Netflix in the car, you know, just
Yeah. You just hang out in your car?
yeah, just hung out in the car. And then I was running low on a charge, so I went up to the Tesla supercharger. There was a little bit of a line there, but then I was back to good. And then went back home and sat with no power in my car again. Not so bad.
Yeah. It's not good. It wasn't bad for a couple days. By the third day, I was like, all right, can we get the power back on? Day 4, I'm like, this better come back on because this blows. No internet, no AC, no nothing.
Well, it got me thinking during all this power outage stuff. It got me thinking about how it is in the Middle East or other countries where they're war torn. And like, imagine being in Israel or Palestine or anywhere where there's bombs going off and you don't know what's happening, right? And your power goes out. It's like, okay, like here, our power went out, but we knew what caused it, and we know there's a hurricane going on, and we know there's winds.
Yeah.
Over there, okay, you have no power for a really extended period of time, and you don't know if your house is going to get shelled with mortars. You don't know if soldiers are going to break down your door and torture you or kill you. Like, the stakes are a little higher over there, and I was freaked out here with no power, and I know exactly what's going on.
We can imagine you just going about your life. I mean, you could, as an American, you'd be going about your life, and then some foreign country could bomb us and say, you guys are imperialist assholes, and we're going to get rid of you. And that would be their argument. And we'd just be losing our power going, oh, man, what the hell just happened? And it would suck really bad. But they'd be cheering, yes, no power for you. And we're like, oh, I was just trying to get my drink on the weekend.
And we'd be blowing up Tico's phone lines going, I pay for power. You need to restore this immediately. I don't know why I'm paying for this service if you can't keep it up.
They done blew Tico up.
Oh, dude.
Could happen.
Yeah. I mean, look, all these little tests, you know, for these little cyber attacks that seem to be happening, whether it's with your cell phones recently and all these things, I do think it is those little digs for something much larger. And having the power out for 4 days did really kind of put it all together going, okay, I guess on some level I do have to prepare because I'm not.
You're not prepared for that.
I'm not built for that. You know.
But there's no way to be built for that if you're not built for it.
Yeah, like I'm not a survivor. You can put off
like the inevitable, but inevitably,
like my son.
I'm not a survivor. I'm not. I don't know if I'm a survivor.
My son's a survivor. Your son's a survivor.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm at that point gonna glom onto them and go, "Hey, help me with this because I don't know what's going on."
Yeah.
And what is it? The food chain, like the logistics and food chain supply, is what strong enough to have for every person in America to basically have food for 2 weeks or something like that, and then that's it.
They could pull the plug at any minute. 2 weeks to chaos.
It's really crazy to think about.
Or even you get rid of what they say is you cut the power and in 3 days. Like if you cut it for everybody,
chaos ensues.
After 3 days, people are like, oh, okay, let's see what we can get away with.
Yeah.
The miscreants come out of the woodwork. They're like, yeah, cops ain't responding. They got no communication.
And the cops have their own families at that point where they've got to worry about.
Exactly.
You know, and they've got guns. So they're hunkering down with their own guns. Yeah.
Thanks for listening to The Hang. We're going to go prepare.
Real downer
We're going to prepare for the apocalypse. It's nice knowing you.
I mean, I guess the generator, so you were powering just your couple fridges enough to do that?
And like a fan or a coffee maker. You know, nothing major.
All the frills.
Make the coffee.
That is still pretty snooty, though. The fridges and the coffee maker still work.
Donna had an electric griddle, so she could plug that into the extension cord and cook us dinner.
That's pretty good.
And after, I think it might have been, I don't know if it was the third day, but the third day she was like, fuck that, we're going out to eat. She said, I'm tired of cooking on this damn griddle.
I was just wanting fast food. I was like, I just want crappy fast food. I've never had more of a craving for just terrible food. And then I forgot that my my grill. Oh, we forgot like for the first day that it's propane, so it's not affected by, that stuff. And I was like, oh, well, we can grill out burgers and stuff, like, so we're using up what we had, and but not ideal.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, some of it, but then a lot of it spoiled, or
people they get a whiff of that meat cooking. So, hey, man, I think Lloyd's got some meat. Let's go get him.
Oh, dude. My neighbor had a just giant oak tree just slam through his roof. Just gone.
That's a nightmare.
We have roof damage, too. And, I don't know. What are you going to do?
Yeah, we didn't have any real damage. We lost a screen panel on the screen enclosure, and I was like, wow, that ain't too bad.
But isn't there something so annoying about losing a screen panel? Because it's expensive. It's kind of expensive to get fixed, and it's just a pain in the ass, especially when there's mosquitoes hanging around. It means you can't use your back porch because of until you get that.
Then the mosquitoes come.
Yep.
You see, it's like the top panel.
Oh man.
So I can't. Donna's
can't fit that one.
pretty good at rescreening, and I'm her.
Wait, Donna knows how to rescreen?
Oh, yeah, she should just start a business doing it, except it's a miserable job.
Yeah.
What's that stuff you put, the spleen?
The spleen, yeah.
I'm spleen boy. So I hold the spleen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then eventually you figure it out if I put a little tautness on the string, it goes in real easy. And we were like, the secret. A secret of, it's the best day of your life when you figure out the spleen trick. Screening is miserable if you don't know what you're doing. And I've done it some, and I don't know what I'm doing, and it sucks.
That, and where
now I know.
You get a quote.
Spleen trick.
And they go, well, it's like a panel's like $150. And I'm going,
you're like,
really? 100? What am I going to, I guess I'll pay it. You got to do it.
There's nothing you can do. You're not going to go get a cherry picker and rescreen that middle.
Yeah.
I'm going to let a professional do that. I'm not going to die rescreening my my patio.
When I did have to have the top panel rescreen like a few years back, and we called the dude out there, I was like, how are they? This thing is in the middle, the pool, right, and the screen is just right above it. I'm going, how are they even going to get to this? Well, the dude's literally just climbing, balancing himself on the beam up there.
It doesn't look like it would support like a big man.
I was fascinated. I'm going, I didn't.
That aluminum beam.
Yeah. And I'm going, I don't know.
Stronger than it looks.
This seems like the most dangerous job in the world at this point. Even if you fall into pool, like it's still not ideal.
Yeah. And when you fall, you're just going to break right through that screen. It's not going to stop you like a net. You're just going to go.
But I'm going.
And you might hit your head on the steps or something, man.
Leave it. You wouldn't imagine a screen guy to have the most balance in the world, but meanwhile they're up there. It was like watching a gymnast. I was fascinated with his beam skills.
Well, I'd be up there crawling, terrifying.
I'd be white knuckling it. Yeah, there's no way in hell I would do that job. Not a chance.
That's why they get $150 a panel.
I guess. Yeah, maybe it's worth it.
If you're gonna risk your life, I guess we're gonna give you $150 a panel.
Yeah, a helicopter pilot followed by screen repairman. Two jobs I'm not interested in.
Yeah, I think me and Don are gonna go into screen work. We just do 6 feet and lower though. We don't do the high stuff. We'll just do your screen. We'll put your screen in, your low screen.
Very snobby business model.
Yeah, none of them high screens.
Donna and Spleen Boy at your service.
It's not worth it. It's too dangerous. Did you see? I don't know what made me think of this, but did you see the Theo Vaughn and J.D. Vance thing?
I did not.
Oh, that's pretty good. You should.
Is it a whole interview, or is the whole thing good? Is it all worth it?
I watched 2 clips, and Theo Vaughn was peppering J.D. Vance with these one-liners, these abstract, scenarios and things, and he was killing J.D. Vance. He was killing him.
Like in a good way?
Oh yeah. It was
okay.
Like he was just. I mean, just making him laugh.
Right. So Vance is cracking up at it.
He couldn't stop. He couldn't control himself, and it was pretty funny. So I could probably get that after the break.
Call me crazy, and I know politicians are politicians, but J.D. Vance is at least young enough to seem somewhat normal. I don't know if he is normal. You never really know what the motivations are.
You do not know, but
But all in all, he doesn't seem completely like a whack job yet.
He's doing a good job of pretending to not be a whack job.
Yeah, he's pretending better than the other
Tim
candidates.
Walz didn't do a very good job of pretending to not be a nut job.
Is the video of him, I don't have the answer for it, and I guess I could Google it on my own time, but I'll ask you instead, or the people listening. Is the video of him dancing to like Shakira or whatever it is, and he's wearing like a black leather sort of outfit, is that real or fake?
Well, that could be AI.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But I want it to be real, but I don't want it to be real. Like, I don't want it to be real because if you're another country and that's our guy, you kind of go, oh, that's not good.
But
But
what if it's real, but the mainstream media says they can't confirm that it's real? They believe it to be AI. Everybody's going to go, on one side's going to go, it's AI.
Yep.
And on the other side, they're going to go, it's real. Can't you see it? That's what we got coming. They said the last week before the election, they're going to unleash the AI on us. That's what the fake ads.
I
believe this election is going to be, it is not happening. They'll have the election. There's no way they get the results the first night like normal.
Which is the strangest goddamn thing in the world.
That's just the way it's going to be, I think. And
What are
there's
they-
going to be it's just going to be there's going to be something. There's going to be controversy. I think the jig is up. We owe like every couple hours we owe another $100 million. It's like we what did it increase? Our debt increased $365 billion in the last
What are we like?
3 weeks or something.
What are we at, like 38 trillion in debt now? It was 36, and now
Yeah.
it's like 38, and it's been a short amount of time.
It seems to be exponentially, catastrophically rising, and that's kind of the jig is up. So sometimes the jig is up. But, a lot of times people say the sky is falling and the jig is up, but that debt, the debt graph.
I mean, it is up and to the
the
right.
debt graph. It's like, well, something's gonna. I don't know what's gonna happen, but something's gotta happen. So like an insane no. Can you imagine, like that was you as a guy who lived in a trailer? That was your debt from $0 to $17 million. It's like, I don't think, it's just preposterous.
It's
They done screwed us over.
big time.
We didn't want that.
And the politicians, they do their term, they do their several terms, whatever. Then they get out. They're good. Like they're, I don't know, and they just pass the buck.
They've probably got places in certain countries where they got sweetheart deals or something where they can tiptoe out one day.
Sure.
See ya, and nothing will ever hit your lap. And are you serious? That douchebag got away. I think that's what's going to happen eventually. If not sooner.
I feel like every single person, any sort of supervisor of elections or any of it, they got to douche it all. Douche it all. All of it. And have Elon Musk come up with an idea and go, and he'd have it done in a week. And he'll go, here's your voting machine. This is how it'll happen. This is how to be certified. And we can get the results real time, the same night. Game over.
That's very logical, Matt. And if you think about it, if they actually cared or served the people, they were like, we're going to get Elon Musk and this guy, some of the greatest minds, some of the greatest apolitical minds we can think of, or at least the balance. We want to make sure it's not political. Mm-hmm. And they're going to come up with a way to fix America because we done fucked it up. And whatever they say is what we're going to do. And it might hurt a little. It might suck a little.
Yep.
But that's why it'll never happen. People are like, boo, we don't ever want it to suck.
Well, and it's weird because Elon, I get, now he is
political.
Obviously, he's Republican leaning right now for the election and all this kind of stuff. But if you were just strictly to take politics aside and just take Elon Musk for what he is in the mind that he is and the stuff that he's done.
Yeah.
Like, did you see the Starship get caught by the chopsticks the other week?
No, I didn't see that one.
Okay, this thing is, if I'm not mistaken, it's 23 stories high. All right? It goes up, does its test flight, comes back down and lands perfectly in this catcher, like a rocket catcher, okay? And these chopsticks, just these straight beams that come out, and the rocket lands perfectly in there.
Because I've seen them land. I haven't seen them land actually in something. But
In the chopsticks.
I mean, just seeing them land on a deck was impressive. I mean, because it doesn't look like they're gonna. It looks like they're gonna crash.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wow.
Yeah, the Starship.
Wow. And it gently alights.
It's insane. And I'm going, him and his team, like, how can you, like, not get goosebumps watching to see these things that he's doing and accomplishing and pushing things forward and with new ideas or whatever, but yet we have gone backwards in terms of just filling out a ballot. We've gone backwards. It used to be same night election results, and you'd stay up as a kid. I'd stay up in my underwear and wait for the election. And they go, oh, okay, all right, it's done. Going to bed now. And now they're telling you it's going to be weeks. So we've regressed
you can't,
as far as election technology. But Elon's landing rocket ships with chopsticks, and we can't get our elections right. It's weird to me.
It's not weird because Elon Musk is more motivated by a scientific curiosity, whereas our elections are totally corrupt because the scumbags are in charge of the elections, and they've totally ruined our elections. These elections have probably been fake for 50, 70 years. I always say, I bet George Washington, he didn't get elected. Those first few guys, they handpicked him and said, that's who's winning.
Are you saying he took that election? He stole the first election?
Hell yeah, he did.
Unbelievable.
They let these peasants and these farm workers decide who's the president.
He told his slaves who to vote for?
He did. He did.
Now, you slaves can't vote, but I'm going to let you vote in this election. As long as you vote for me.
Your vote will count 3/8 of one.
Jesus.
The founding fathers were horrifically racist.
Oh my God!
Rapists. They raped their slaves.
The more you read about the founding fathers, it's really disturbing. And then you look at these folks on the dollar bill and the 5, and you go, I don't know if they deserve to be there anymore. Like, maybe we need to just have a blank dollar. Maybe I don't know.
Just because the guys were pretty, savvy, pretty intelligent, pretty well educated. Probably, guarantee they were 10 times more educated than our current politicians. So they were really eloquent. But you don't even know if they weren't setting that up to just benefit themselves. The whole government, they were in charge. They were the first politicians. They lied to the people. They got sweetheart deals. The soldiers died in the streets.
Wait, how old do you think? How old was George Washington when he died? What do you think?
Not that old. He was. I think he was pretty young when he was. Like in his 30s when he was leading the troops. So I'm thinking he died in his 40s.
40s?
Yes.
I'm actually, I don't want to say pleasantly surprised, but for the times, it says he was 67.
That's pretty old.
That's old as shit back in the day. Yeah. Like, that's the equivalent of like 190 right now. It is. That's outrageous.
That's a rough life.
He's the oldest man ever at the time.
Walrus teeth. He had like all these bizarre things.
Yeah, he had
slave teeth, walrus teeth,
and lead. It was like all compacted with lead in his mouth.
Nasty stuff in his mouth. He was probably a hideous old man.
Props to him for his 67.
Shut up, George.
67. Well, I tell you what, that's not an accurate picture of him. Then there's no way. If you look, he's a handsome little devil on that one.
He doesn't reveal his teeth, does he? He's got a thin lip smile. Yes.
They should redo the $1 bill with a more accurate depiction of what his smile looked like.
One of those grills you get at Spirit Hollywood store. One tooth sticking out of his gum. Walrus tooth. Slave teeth.
Oh. The guy was disgusting.
He probably pulled the slave's teeth right out there. He's like, I need another tooth. Go get one from Jeremiah.
Yeah, and it's like, how he did. Like, was he a good guy or was he not a good guy? Because clearly he got the slave teeth from somewhere. And was that a pleasant experience for the slave? Probably not. I imagine they got ripped out of their mouth early.
Or maybe...
maybe he just chopped down the cherry tree and never told a lie or whatever.
When the slaves died, he said, keep the teeth. I may need them. I don't just a thinker. He was a thinker. The founding fathers.
Giant bag of teeth in his house.
He did. Big bag of slave teeth. He's like, I'm good. Yeah, it's a different time.
Yes, it was.
I think we hero worship the founding fathers just a little too much. They think they did a great job. Worked really well for a couple hundred, like 250. Worked really good. They did great.
Eventually,
they didn't ruin it.
Eventually, it's going to come to a pass, and now it's coming to a pass.
Yeah, you know. If we could start again with the same system from square one, let's do 250 more. Would be great. Start from scratch. 250 great. It's a great system. Next system's probably going to be horrible.
Imagine if George Washington came back to life today and was like, how's our debt? We're like, we're in $38.6 trillion of debt, sir. He'd be like, what's a trillion? What is a trillion? Do you know what a million is? No. What's a million? Okay, it's million, but he would go, oh, that's a lot. How did you guys screw this up so bad?
I think they founding fathers, if you gave them a tour of America right now, they'd blow their brains up at the end. They're like, oh my, what have we done? What have we done?
I don't know.
So sad. It's such a great concept.
Maybe we do need to make some tweaks to the old Constitution. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to modernize it in some level.
Oh, you need to start from scratch.
Yeah, we got to have it because now there's AI and now there's all these different things that are coming into play.
We need to get rid of the
Thou shalt not deep fake. All these kind of things.
We need to get rid of the internet.
No, I love the internet. I just found out George Washington was 67 when he died.
Ruining the world for you to know trivia, for you to watch nonsense and no trivia. It's ruined everybody. It's ruined everything. The world sucks now. Look how quickly the internet ruined politics within 15 years.
I feel like I'm kicking ass though at Trivial Pursuit. Like before pre-internet Trivial Pursuit, I was going to lose every time. Now I know a lot of fun facts that I think I can hang in a good game of Trivial Pursuit.
Online?
Like
online. It's an online game or one.
I'm talking about the board game, the old school Trivial Pursuit.
The board game.
I feel like with all the useless shit that I've learned off the internet,
maybe
I could translate that and do all right in an actual game of Trivial Pursuit.
I bet not.
Probably not, but I'd like to think I can. I mean, I just learned a fun fact about George Washington. So
sophisticated knowledge. I bet the questions. Trivial Pursuit was really hard back in the day. We used to play it all the time. Really hard. And I bet they got a new version, but they've dummied it down. Because people don't know none of that literature, or geography, world geography. People don't know that shit anymore.
They did. They broke it down. They started doing little like sub-trivial pursuits. It's like, hey, buy this board game. It's Trivial Pursuit 90s Music Edition. They do have those different things. It's like, okay,
good. I'm glad they morphed. They didn't get blockbustered.
Like if
the people are dumb. Let's dumb down the trivia.
If I'm going to Target and I'm buying a Trivial Pursuit game, if my family was like, hey, let's play a board game, I'm going to go down the aisle and go, which one of these board games suits me the best so I can win? I'd be like, aha, early 90s, 2000 music trivia. That's the one I'm buying. I'm going to stand a shot.
Everybody always refused to play. We get these music games. It would be some kind of thing where you'd have to sing the lyrics and stuff. And we played it a couple times, and then they all refused to play anymore because they said I was too good. I'm saying,
see? Yeah.
So just being able to sing moderately good makes you better than everybody. It's like I'm no Michael Bublé, but for the average person, I am.
You're a real crooner.
They refuse to play. It's like, that was a fun game. Yeah, because you won all the time.
Their board games, they have seemed to make a bit of a comeback. Like if you go to Target or Walmart, like you would think that board games would totally be on the outs.
I would think.
They have more now than ever.
I wonder who's playing board games. People having other people over their houses. We used to do that. That was we were
pre-internet. Now you're like,
that was our thing. That was our thing, was games. We always had people over, and we'd drink and smoke, and we'd play board games for like hours. Pictionary, Taboo.
I'm a simple man. I'm like
categories.
I'm a Uno guy.
Uno. Oh no, we play more intricate games.
Yeah, that's like Monopoly. Like I like that's Monopoly, rude. But
that's not a fun game though. Monopoly, I guess, can be enjoyable, but it's not fun. Not like you're ever like woo.
And the rules, I think I've mentioned this in the past. The rules are such that it is like the Federal Reserve, where the bank you can just print more money. Like if the bank
you really know the rules, which nobody does.
But if you're the banker, like and the bank runs out, like you can just keep printing money. It's exactly like the American system. The American
trying to teach you something.
All the terrible ways is exactly how Monopoly can be rigged. It's just like the Federal Reserve.
Milton Bradley knew all along.
All along.
Milton fucking Bradley.
Rich Uncle Pennybags knew what was going on.
He was trying to tell us. Rich Uncle Pennybags, get with it, man.
He knew.
Oh, we changed the rules to our games. Like we play Pictionary, and since it depended on the roll of the dice, we're like, we're gonna sometimes it was just a self play where the other team didn't get to play, and you kept rolling the right thing and not having the other team would just be sitting there for half an hour and you'd be coming over there. We said, screw that. Everyone is an all play. So it's a chaotic spectacle every time, because everybody's screaming.
Oh, that seems like madness.
Yeah, it's madness. And then sometimes become the blows.
You guys don't fuck around over here when it comes to board games.
We don't take it quite as seriously as we used to. But you used to get mad. People would get mad because you do boys against the girls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do guys against the girls, and
man,
if they get heat, they get heat. Both sides get heat, no matter who won.
I'm thinking old school stuff. Like this was a couple years ago now, but I was in one of those arts and crafts stores, and I saw this product. It jogged a memory from when I was a kid, and I was like, "Oh, these are awesome! I can't wait to go home and do this. Do this with my daughter, right? And show her that, hey, this is what I did when I was a kid, and blah blah blah." It was Shrinky Dinks.
Shrinky Dinks, yeah.
Remember Shrinky Dinks?
Put them in the oven, right?
And you color them, put them in the oven, watch them shrink, and then make a keychain out of it or whatever.
Yeah,
fun.
Craft.
Yeah. She liked it for about 5 minutes, and then I think I did it. I think I brought him home again because I was like, we'll do Shrinky Dinks again. Bro, she had no interest in doing Shrinky Dinks a second time around. Like zero. Yeah. So I'm just sitting there with these plastic sheets going, nobody to shrink these with. But those were fun, man. But now it's like...
Some people ain't into crafts, man.
I'm not into crafts, but like anything to get her off like the iPad or something, you know? Like,
but maybe there's something else that would... Because I was not into crafts like that. Shrinky Dinks my ass. I ain't doing that shit. So that, there could be something else that she enjoys other than that.
I'm going to invite you over to my house one night for a Shrinky Dink night.
Please don't.
It's going to be a surprise. You're not going to know what we've got. Well, all the fun activities planned. One's going to be Shrinky Dinks. One's going to be us remember the little red plastic rocket that you'd fill with air? You'd step on it, fill with air, and then they would fly up. Those things
like
rule.
20 feet. You ever have the water rockets?
I think that's what it is, right?
You could pump it up, and then it would. Yeah, it would never work. Or the big time rockets, you go to a hobby store and they cost like $30, and they and they go way up and they got parachutes.
Yeah, I did. I sent a lizard into orbit one time, and
it survived.
It survived, and it was completely shell shocked when I let it out of the tube.
It's traumatized. It's proof you didn't go to space. It's proof right there.
It's awful.
Who's in the house tonight? Beaver smell like tuna. Ned's Navy triple edged sword. I think I got Beaver smell like tuna. Kevin, JK.
Good to be back hanging and not chatting. Sorry, guys.
VW Rick. AJ the Lingerer. Snookman 339. Freak Show. What's up, Freak Show? Jamie the Plumber cheered 1,000 bits. Thank you, Jamie the Plumber.
Is Jamie the Plumber going to make it to the meat hang?
He usually comes down once a year in April. We usually meet up, but he doesn't usually come to the meat hang.
Okay.
By the way, meat hang is creeping up. November 16th, if there is still a country to be had on November 16th after the whatever is going to go down shortly, we're going to meet hang.
I don't want to do a political thing. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just asking an honest question. Take anybody, like take the politics completely out of it, right?
Yeah.
Just answer the question of who do you think is going to win? Not because this is who you want to win or any of that stuff. Just completely unbiased. Just take your personal opinions and thoughts and feelings completely out of it. And just go, who do you think is going to win?
That's a tough one.
Isn't it?
I was going to ask you that question. I forgot, though. Yeah, that's great. Because I don't know. I couldn't tell you in a million years who's going to win. And I could make cases for like 10 different scenarios about who's going to win.
I'll give you my opinion on it. It is the exact same as yours to a T. I haven't got a clue. It is a serious pick'em for all the wrong reasons. But I get, like, if somebody were like, hey, you got to put money on it. Like, okay, on a football game, I'd go, all right, here's who I think is going to win. If I were to put money on this election, I don't know. I don't know who I'd put my money on.
I don't think I could. I just don't think it's going to be legit. I think like if I had to choose, I would say she's going to win because they're going to make her win.
So you're going you're going with Harris via rigged election.
Yeah, I think that. Oh, but I could make but I'm gonna. If it comes down to it, that's my vote.
Okay,
that's what's gonna happen. Harris in a rigged election. Nothing to do about it. Get used to it.
I guess if I were to really just have to make a call at this moment in time, I would go. God, man, it is such a weird.
I know. I'm already going. No, that's not what it's going to happen. Trump's going to win. They want Trump to win. It's just a whole charade so Trump could win, and then he's going to usher in a new era of authoritarianism.
Yeah,
that the people demanded.
They're really banging home the fascist card this week.
Fascist, man. Nazi. And then the Jesus in it up. There's a lot of Jesus talk, and so I'm not comfortable with the Jesus talk. Keep it out of the government. I'm fine with you.
Yeah, the whole separation of church and state really doesn't apply when it comes to church and state, apparently.
I don't like it.
It's all jumbled up in there.
It all sucks. It all sucks.
I'm gonna go Trump, but I don't really have a good reason why. Because I don't think it's gonna be a rigged thing. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's the part of the country we're living in. Because like when I drive around and I see things, I see a lot of Trump stuff, like a lot. I don't see a lot of Harris stuff. So based on that, I guess I'd go Trump. But it's a big country out there.
Yeah, Trace always says that. He's like, I see Trump signs everywhere. Trump boats. If you ever see anybody on a boat, they got a Trump flag. Trump, 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 Trump. Which is maybe it's just the way we live.
Yeah.
But
out here in the sticks, it appears as though Trump's more popular.
In general, not in general, like historically, it's almost a 100% fact that if the economy sucks, your life sucks, your inflation, your bills, your grocery bills suck and are more, that party is out. Every time out. So they should be out. It should be a Trump landslide. Because people don't.
You're right in the inflation perspective, but then when you look at like the markets, okay, or it's doing great. Now, I don't know how falsely it's propped up or anything like that, but if you were to look at it from a perspective of that, it seems really good. But if you were to take the macro view of the debt, you'd go, this is awful. But nobody seems to want to look at that giant 38 trillion and growing number and go, that's a problem.
That's why the election's going to be called in doubt. It's going to be a huge deal. It's the end of democracy. They got to get out. They'll tiptoe out of the country, and we'll be left to fend for ourselves.
It's going to be a weird one.
As Russia and China invade us.
Man, even the Walls and Vance debate they had, because again, we haven't seen each other in 3 weeks. There's been so much stuff that's happened. So much
shit.
I turned it off. I was like, I was just kind of over it. It didn't take me long to get over it. I was just like, And even though those two are one heartbeat away, from the presidency, perhaps, right? If
they're real close. What?
I was like, I don't give a damn.
Vance is real close to the presidency. Real close. What, he's 78? Is he 78? Trump, 78?
Oh, I thought you meant because of all the attempts on his life that are...
factor that in and tenfold. Because Trump is, he's a big, tall, old guy. Old as dirt. A lot of times he don't live too long.
Yeah, but then again, you look at...
Maybe he'll live forever.
Badasses sometimes don't die.
Yeah.
And in some realm, in some world, in some weird, odd way, he's sort of a badass. Like he's a...
That's a fantastic... Okay, is he... He's not a bad... Trump's not a badass.
Yeah, like I don't want to call him a badass. Like I mean it in a weird way.
Or if you can... use whatever you have, whatever it factor you have to build yourself up into someone who appears to be the biggest badass on the planet. Do you become a badass? Because you can, people are like, oh, because he was the most powerful man in the world.
Yeah,
he's kind of
from
being rich. Donald Trump, from being being on Letterman, being on Stern, being Trump in the tabloids, and now all of a sudden he's president.
And he was a presidential, and then he, I guess you'd, bring the title badass along with it, right? And then he kind of lost his badassness, okay?
A little bit.
Then he gets shot in the ear, badass again. Now he's badass again.
I don't think it's only been a month since or 6 weeks at most since the first assassination attempt. That street cred doesn't wash off that easy, right? Can we just talk as human beings? There's a lot of guys who are like, man, they tried to kill that motherfucker twice. And he was like, fight. They're like the hook, line, and sinker. They're like, I'm voting for that guy.
Yeah.
No discounting that factor as well.
Really don't think he played that up enough, though. Like he even kind of like brushes it off now.
It's almost like they have to have better PR people. They have the best in the business. And that square bandage they put on his ear.
It's awful. That little My Pillow
made a mockery of the whole thing.
I know.
It's like you took an assassination attempt. They missed your brain by that much.
Like that was the most badass move to get up there and do that thing. Whether you love him or hate him, that was a badass move. And then you came out, like you said, you came out with this little My Pillow thing strapped to the side of your head, coming off of the most badass. And it's like, oh man, kind of.
What if he had a square bandage with him going to fight on it? No. What should he should? They should have just played it up like they have some gauze, maybe a tinge of red.
Yeah, keep it a little bloody.
Just in a it was. Even the Republicans were like, the square bandage, what?
It was outrageous looking.
We can't defend it. Go ahead, attack the square bandage. That's what matters in America. Why with the square bandage?
I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me either.
That's political hay for days. 2 assassination attempts.
In any other world.
They didn't make shit out of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't know, man. I don't know. So I had a near-death experience. Have you ever had
a near-death experience?
Yeah, like 2 seconds away from, and you escaped.
Not really. I don't think I have.
I did this past week on the day I saw you on Saturday.
Yeah.
Afternoon. I got almost crushed by an electric gate, like the iron gates that go back like this.
Yeah.
I had my arm and my head because the gate was shut, okay, and I had to let this person in. But they didn't want to give me the gate code to anybody, so I was like, okay, I'll try to do it myself. So I stick my head and my arm through this iron gate, and I'm trying to hit the code on the other side, okay? I can't reach it. I can't see the numbers. So I'm talking to the guy to go, hey, man, here's the code. Just punch it in.
Yeah.
So he does it. But I didn't have time to get my head.
Not yet.
And it was quick.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm kidding you not, Mike. I was maybe 2 seconds away from getting entirely crushed. Like, I pulled my arm and my head out just in time. I have marks here. It's not as bad as it was, and it's bruised up and stuff. But and the guy looks at me like, oh, I almost killed you. Like, and everybody that saw it was like, whew. And my palms get sweaty thinking about it right now because it was that damn close.
And stuff like that happens all the time. And you
I
can go on the internet and there's probably a camera, and you were seconds away from being on,
one of those
on Twitter as the guy who got his head decapitated by the gate.
Yes,
by the guy. He's like, no, don't punch it in yet.
And the worst part about it is I watch those videos because they pop in my algorithm all the time, and I'm like, oh man, escape from death. You see all the little motorcycle videos, all this stuff, and there I was in that moment going, oh man, that was close. That was super close, and it was my I can't fault anybody but myself for it. I'm the one that put my arm through the gate. I'm the one that put my head, like, so it's on me. But
what a way to go, too.
What a way to I can't get over it. Like, it is,
and that would have
keeps replaying in my head.
And ironically, your memory would be ruining the event that you were in charge
yes.
of. Because, well, it's kind of a downer because, Matt got crushed. He's dead. He's dead. Where do you want the DJ? Where do you want the DJ? Yeah, Matt got crushed. He's dead. It's bloody as hell, too. We can't get the blood up. Yeah. Oh, and then
I'm my palm.
They turn everybody away. Just like, no, it's.
Well, then on top of that, the venue was at this past weekend. It was at the Cuban Club, which is in Florida here in the area. It is notoriously known as one of the most haunted buildings in Florida, or the country for that matter. It's got multiple deaths in there that have happened through the years, and there's ghosts and all the stuff, everything that goes along with ghost stories. It's all happened in that building. And there I am, about to become one of those.
Oh, then it would, you could have continued the legend, Matt. You really could have done the Cuban Club a favor.
It was
it's
so
like,
close.
Not only that, you thought the haunting was all a lie. Well, in 2024,
Matt got crushed by this iron gate.
Telling you,
it was a bad one. Thanks for coming out, by the way.
I mean, you're welcome. Just doing stupid stuff, like almost like doing something stupid in traffic where it could have just been an accident.
Yeah,
but you're just like. So I can't imagine like something where you almost, you're like, oh wow, I would have died.
Like, there's no doubt,
and
And I tried to explain it to my wife, but unless you were one of the 3 or 4 people that actually saw it, you can't really. And she goes honestly, you should go back there with a mannequin and just see what would have happened. And I go, you're kind of right. I don't know if that's going to be therapeutic for me or not, but I do actually want to go back there and just put a mannequin and do the same thing and just see what happens to it, right? Like, it's almost like I have to know. Like, how bad would it have been? Would the head have just lopped off? Would it just crushed my arm and dragged me? Like, what would have happened?
Or it's got a safety feature and it's just stopped.
There's no safety feature. Not because the sensor's on the other side of it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, you would have been.
It was opening up, not closing.
Been horribly disfigured. It's even worse than death. Tasha.
Closed casket for sure.
Tasha. No, you're alive. You're just disfigured. Tasha, I got. Glad you stay with me after the gate. Can you feed me now? I can't hold the fork. I'm telling you. a fate worse than death.
No near-death experiences for you ever?
I don't think so.
But you don't believe in ghosts. Is that what
No.
when we were chatting the other night?
Not at all. No.
You didn't feel anything in that building?
No.
That was weird?
No. I've never felt anything weird in my life.
Does any of your family, were any of them buying it?
No, nobody buys none of that. We're cynics. We're like natural born cynics.
Interesting.
Like I've lived in this house, and especially if you're by yourself, I'm not never like alone at night in this house by myself like 5 times in 20 years.
Yep.
And you hear some noises, and you're like, yeah, I wonder what that was. Oh well, I'm going to bed. I locked the door.
Yeah, so you
No,
so
I'm not worried about ghosts. I'm worried about
get broken into
about
and stuff.
serial
Yeah.
killers.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. For me, I could be sleeping with a 6-year-old child in the house and just me. Just
Jesus, Mike.
No, I mean my 6-year-old child
Oh.
and me, and it's a whole different thing than being totally alone in a house.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I've been alone in that building.
Maybe I'm just
I'm just
a
saying.
pussy.
Nah, I don't think it. I think everybody's got to feel like that at some point in time. But I've been alone in that building, that Cuban club.
It's a big building too. It's a big place.
You hear some stuff, and it's a little.
I'm buying. Please, not in the entire recorded history of man. There's not one recorded instance of paranormal activity on film. Not one. 0.
Hold on.
0.
That can't be true.
It's 100% true.
Well, then why do I always see these ghost videos? And this is before deep fakes and AIs and all this stuff.
Maybe you see some lights or some kind of shit.
No, you've never seen like the videos of like drawers opening and stuff flying out.
Yeah, I see that on Hollywood every day.
All right, I saw there was a weird experience in that building a few years ago. We had all the point of sale systems lined up on this counter. All right, and counter was about like this. They're all lined up here. Me and a couple other people were talking. This thing flies off the counter. I mean, flies. Nobody knocks it off. Nothing. Just flew off the counter. Now, at risk of me already knowing what you're going to say to this, I'm going to ask it anyways. What's your explanation for that?
Sometimes shit happens. Shit happens. There ain't no such thing as ghosts. What the fuck are you talking about?
There's no explanation for that, though.
I mean, you could be embellishing this to no end.
But I'm not. There's no reason to embellish it. It happened.
Sometimes stuff happens. Always good.
So you chalk up every sort of so even if there was paranormal activity or paranormal, you would go, shit happens.
Yeah, okay. I said there's no recorded instances of paranormal activity, and you ain't got no recorded instance. You've got some hearsay for me.
Well, if I was recording it, I would show it, but I wasn't expecting it to happen. Therefore, I wasn't recording.
And nobody else has ever expected it to happen in their entire. Nobody has been accidentally recording paranormal activity. They're like, "Oh shit! I just happened to be recording that." No, because it never happened. It's never been documented.
Let me politely disagree with you in terms of that, only because I've seen videos of weird stuff that happens throughout. The last 30 years I've seen videos of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So who's
sure? Yeah.
I have. Like, if you never, YouTube videos or a ghostly encounter, all that stuff.
Fake shit.
You're telling me, but here's the thing. You're saying there's not one recorded instance, but I'm telling you there is recorded instances, but you're just not going to believe them.
Fakery.
But what's the purpose?
Shit. To get likes and hits.
This was before likes. This is before all that.
People have been trying to fool people with that shit for years.
So in other words, there's no convincing you otherwise. You're dug in.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then.
So what is your spiritual belief that entails ghosts? Where do you think like a normal soul goes, as opposed to a ghost soul who haunts the earth forever?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for that, but I do think it's a plausible.
I will do nothing but toss this off the counter. The only thing I ever do. Woo! Was that a ghost? Now we'll go away for 20 years.
Or they just didn't like the point of sale system we were using. I don't know. What's that old the theory of purgatory, right? That's one of the main theories, right? You're kind of like trapped in between these
who is
these worlds.
What religion is that, and who is in the purgatory?
Look, you're asking me questions that I'm not prepared to answer.
Some religions do have a purgatory.
Aren't
I don't think Christians have purgatory. You're
I'm
either
Catholic.
good or you're bad. Yeah, you might have.
I'm purgatory.
Todd is gonna call you out about ghosts.
Here we go. See, when you this is the equivalent of Trump going into CNN, right? Like you're walking into a buzzsaw, but you do it anyways. Here I am. I'm Kamala going into Fox News right now. Go ahead, Fox News.
I'm Brett Baer.
Ask the tough questions,
My thing about
Brett.
ghosts, though, is like people act like they're always scared of them. It's like if there were ghosts, and they've never hurt anybody. Have there ever been like on the news? Oh, so and so was killed by a ghost, or so and so got, and they'll show like these stupid shows that'll show like these ghosts was living in their house and it was terrifying them. It's like, are you kidding me? If you really had a ghost living in your house, you would move out. I mean, you would be like in a hotel, right? You wouldn't be like, they would show that their child was, talking to a man on a swing and then even weirder
hold on.
things.
I'm going to give you a very stupid, simple answer to this, and it's so stupid. I know it's going to come across stupid,
Okay.
so let me just preface that. What if they're friendly ghosts?
Well, they must be because they've never hurt anybody. So why is everybody always scared? Like,
Because
ghosts
it's
are
something.
scary.
Because you think
Well,
it's
they don't
scary.
do anything to harm anybody.
So what if they're nice ghosts?
Okay. Well,
Does that mean that
you've
there's
still
not
never
ghosts or
but,
there is
But
ghosts?
every time they ever show ghosts, it's like, like
doing some scary shit.
like slamming the doors, and the people would be in bed, and
Well, explain that.
And the doors would be they would be like acting like this ghost was like messing with them and like really like out to get them, and they would stay in the house. They'd have to like put chairs up under their doors, and and it was like, are you kidding me? Who would stay in a house like
I
that?
wouldn't.
She's saying they're lying.
They're lying.
They're lying.
They're
I personally would not. Just like I would never buy a house that somebody was murdered in. That's just me.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
I wouldn't either but
But
not
why?
because I believe they're ghosts. It's just like gross to me.
Oh, why? It's cleaned up. There's no problems there. There's no ghosts.
No.
So what's the
gross.
problem? If you got a great
me,
deal
it's
on this
gross.
house, the only thing that happened was there was 10 murders in there. But don't worry, Donna. There's no ghosts or anything to be worried about. Buy the house.
I'm not. I said it's gross. And I wouldn't be worried about ghosts.
So if you're on a jury, Matt,
Oh, boy.
you're on a jury, and this man's on
Yes,
trial.
Brett.
And
Go
this
ahead.
man's on trial, and he says that he didn't kill his wife. It was a ghost that killed his wife.
Would you?
Is he going to be able to provide evidence to you that will make you say, not guilty, a ghost really killed his wife?
No.
Because you
guess I'd
live
have
in
to,
the real world.
What, I have to go to the facts of the case, right? There's got to be some
What
sort
if
of
it's
DNA. weapon.
there was some drawers coming out?
The fact being that
she
there
did-
are no ghosts.
All right.
He's saying he just saw her like pushed all over the balcony, but he was like 10 feet away.
God, could you imagine if that was the truth, though, and this guy
well, that
gets
would
hemmed up?
suck,
Like, how
yeah.
crazy would that be?
Well, sometimes you get framed by a ghost, Matt.
You guys are dicks. And I don't have a logical argument against what you're saying, right? I get it.
And that's just like people, I hate to bring religion into it, but that's the same thing as religion. People say, people all the time say the devil made me do it. And that's what they teach that in church. And there's so many people are Christians and they teach that shit in church. Don't let the devil get a hold of you, that kind of stuff.
Yep, sure.
And yet you go to court and not one person in court would ever believe that the devil.
Well, that's where you plead insanity. And you, because it does seem insane if the devil
Why would
made
it
you
be
do it.
insane? Because that's the premise
It's
of
the premise
religion.
of Christianity. If you don't believe in the devil, you don't believe in Jesus.
Yeah, you don't
because
have
there's
any-
no reason for Jesus without the devil.
But nobody
Again, logical
in the world,
points. I'm not-
Nobody believes that the devil made anybody do anything. So it's the same thing with the ghost.
All I know is
it's-
I've seen a couple weird things happen. Okay. Not mean things, not nasty things, but things that were odd, and that was one of them.
How come there's never a nasty ghost?
Because why do they have to be nasty?
Well, what's the
He's
purpose?
naughty.
Okay.
He's naughty.
What would the purpose of them?
He's putting
anyway?
Let me
he's
throw
putting
this
his
out
ghost balls
Even
on
a
your
nice
chin.
ghost.
let me throw this out there. Well, aliens. Everybody assumes aliens would be mean and nasty, right?
Yeah.
But what if there's aliens and they're extremely compassionate, nice creatures?
Yeah, we're gonna kill him anyway.
But I'm saying, like, who's to say, right?
Yeah,
like
we have no idea.
we have no idea. But ghosts have always been sort of, I don't know, judged and told to people in society that they're mean and nasty, and that's what a ghost is supposed to do.
So they're stereotyped.
They are very typecast.
He not even only believes in ghosts. He has a woke version of ghosts.
I like my ghosts democratic.
Doglog subscribed for 64 months. Who else we got here? I think AdPap subscribed for 58 months. Thank you,
Well, any ghost
AdPap.
show I've ever seen, they have never, ever, ever come up with one bit of evidence to
Because you
show that
can't
there's a
explain it.
ghost.
It's the unexplainable. That's the thing of it.
Well, I don't believe
That's the whole crux
It's like
of it.
religion.
What did you say?
Fair.
Hey, wait. What did you say you saw that happened that you makes you believe in ghosts?
Well, the one that comes to mind was this. There was like 10 registers, okay? All the same, all lined up on a counter about this
like
wide.
at cash registers?
Yeah, all like the POS systems, right?
Okay.
So, and one flew off. Now, keep in mind, there's nobody. We're standing off to the side of it. There's nothing to cause it to do that. It flies off
Where were you?
at the Cuban Club
Okay.
in Ybor.
Like recently?
This incident was a few years back.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like, and if I've talked to other people there, like the management, and they go, oh yeah, you'll hear, the ghosts. You'll hear people talking and chatting. There'll be nobody in the building, and you'll hear music going on the third floor, and it's like a party happening. Like, this is what they're telling me. But they're just they say just be respectful of them, and everything's fine.
Who's telling you
I
this?
sound insane
no,
right now.
you
I
know
do
what?
Telling
realize.
you this? Some girl that's a drama queen?
No, this was it's management that works there, and
And they hear
things.
parties going on.
Yeah.
And music, and the crazy thing is, no one's ever taken out their phone and recorded it. Out of
Have
all-
they? Did they?
It
ever,
happens
did they have
all the
any
time, but they
recordings of
never
it?
thought to record it. Ever.
Well, they do. I mean,
They didn't record
I'm
it.
not gonna.
They didn't
I mean,
record
that's
it.
something you
I'm not
could
gonna
get
say that
proof
you
of,
can.
right?
They
If you
do
can hear-
ghost tours there all the time, and I'm not gonna say ghost tours are the end all be all because I know that's part of it. Like, that's more of a show, right? Like they're they're
please, ghost tours.
But I don't know. There's got to be something to it. There's got to be.
It's got to be. It's got to
I'm
be.
convinced.
Gotta be.
I've just sat here
I'm
and
not-
convinced myself further.
I'm not because of the what that happens all the time and nobody's caught that on video.
Didn't you ever see the movie Ghost with Swayze and Demi Moore?
Yeah,
Takes the
long time ago.
penny and pulls it up the door and says ditto. It's not any more preposterous than thinking there's aliens. I mean, if you
I don't believe
No,
one way or the other. I believe
aliens.
they're possible.
so why don't you believe ghosts are possible?
Because I'm not stupid.
Aliens are more.
You don't think the body's got some sort of energy that can?
I believe. Oh, sure. There could be
God.
some kind of energy.
Well, then that's the energy.
You're
That they
not,
just-
you're
that
not
they're
hanging around
upstairs
knocking
having parties.
knocking cash registers
Yeah,
off this
that's
counter.
that's their thing. To,
It's their way of showing off.
Let us know. Let them know that we're here. Knock that cash register off the counter.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Look. Well, I can't believe Donna wouldn't buy a house with somebody who's murdered in. That to me is a direct argument against what you're.
It has nothing to do with ghosts.
It's just because. What if the person just they hanged themselves in there? No big deal. No mess.
Well, I
They
could
shit their
say
pants and
something
they carried the body out.
creepy. I'd say creepy, but that doesn't mean that I think it would be because there would be ghosts there.
So
I
would
just
you
think
live in
it's
a house
creepy.
that somebody just hanged themselves
No,
in?
I don't know. I bet people do though because a lot
There's
of people.
got to be a
sometimes they
certain
don't
part
know.
of you, Donna, by saying no. There's got to be something in your brain that's going. It's it's creepy, and I don't know what's
saying
what's
creepy
going on
for
in this
sure.
house.
Yeah, I
Gives her
said
the
creepy.
heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, it'd be creepy, but not because I'd be scared of a ghost.
See, I think you could psych
But
yourself into that real easy.
Probably.
You buy the house, they hung themselves in the bathroom, and every time you walk in that bathroom, you're kind of like,
That's like the
Or
kind
you
of
hear a weird creak at night.
That's like the kind of people that can, say stuff like, everywhere I go, the number 11 appears. That kind of thing.
Oh, see,
And
that's
so
dumb to me.
everywhere they go, they find something that
Yes.
relates to the number 11. Well, it was 9 plus 2 of these.
Yeah, they're fishing.
That kind
They're
of-
fishing for stuff at that
Yes.
point.
everywhere Jamie the
me-
plumber goes, he cheers 700 bits. Thank you, Jamie
Thank
the
you,
plumber.
Jamie. He's not coming to the meet and greet, is he?
I don't.
He usually comes
not that
down
I
in,
know.
like, March or
April
something.
March.
Okay, let me throw another one out. As long as we're on this topic, I'm going to go deeper.
Okay.
Exorcisms,
Oh, please.
demonic possessions. A strong rebuttal from Mike.
You would think
I
you'd
can't argue with that rebuttal, Mike.
You think you'd hear a little more about those if those were real. Right?
I've seen some pretty compelling videos of those.
Well, me too. A movie called The Exorcist.
No, real videos.
So-called real videos.
So-called real videos.
So-called.
Have you, I mean,
I have to.
I've seen some
You
real
know,
videos.
it's one
too.
of those things that you'd kind of have to know that person that it's happening to. And I could be like, you know someone that if something happened to him, you'd be like, yeah, they're fucking drama queens all day long.
that's fair.
And that's somebody that would do that.
What they call Karens now.
Yeah.
Back in the day,
Yeah.
they didn't have any venue to be Karens because it was socially unacceptable. So
Yeah.
they had to be exercised.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'd kind of have to know that person to know if, like, this is not that person and this is really weird, if that was happening to them and they were doing some, and be like, are they really possessed by the devil?
I mean, in the
that
past,
kind of
I've
thing.
seen interviews and read articles, and every time I start a sentence, Mike just goes,
But
I know.
My gut
I know.
feeling is that's somebody that is a complete.
I'm complete nincompoop.
Let's have a seance, man.
And I won't mess with the Ouija
And a
board
Ouija-
either.
we won't
I
mess
won't
with
do
the
it.
Ouija board.
Oh, people make those moves.
Well, last time I did that,
Oh man, let's get a Ouija board and we'll dupe
He won't do it.
I
We
won't-
could dupe him.
He won't do
I
it.
won't do it. I won't touch a Ouija board.
Yeah.
I won't.
Bitch ass. Get the bitch ass up here on this Ouija
I am
board.
totally Ouija board bitch ass.
I mean, we used to do seances.
And furthermore, I don't think Parker Brothers should sell that to children.
That's true.
It's teaching them.
About the occult.
Yeah, I mean, it's where it all starts right there. That's the beginning of the deep state.
It is.
You never hear of kids having seances. We used to do that just.
Because they don't
to
call it a
try to scare
seance.
each other.
They just go, hey, get the Ouija board out. And they just mess around with
Well,
it.
without
But
a
a
Ouija,
seance
was
you
different
were
than a
calling
Ouija
the
board.
spirits up
Yeah,
with a candle or some
yeah,
shit.
it was stupid.
Never happened. The spirits never showed up.
No, you could hold hands or do something, and then all of a sudden,
What was it? Light as a feather?
People's hand,
Yeah.
yeah. People's hands would go up, and it's like, yeah, you're pushing my hand up, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
You guys are so. You've become too cynical,
Yeah,
which is good.
It's
maybe,
like the
but-
you were part of Rich Guzzi's Afghanistan Bananistan deal. See how fake that is. We went in the back and he tried to hypnotize us, and he after like 30 seconds he was like, okay.
That's because you and me were too
because we're not going
strong-willed
to
and
play
cynical.
along. Because we're not going to play along.
Meanwhile,
He's looking
Dildo
to beat-
Hatley got
Hallie
hypnotized
was
like that.
Afghanistan Bananistan.
Right, but I think he was truly hypnotized.
Do you?
No.
Oh, I think he's so weak-minded that he was absolutely hypnotized.
No, he was not.
I'd like
Sure
to
he
try to
was.
get hypnotized. To see if
No,
that would
all
happen.
the
I don't
people
feel
then
like it
that they
would.
want to play along. They just want to play along.
How many years was Hatley manipulated and easy to dupe and all the shit, right? By the fat man. Years.
See,
You're telling me that guy couldn't be susceptible to being hypnotized?
Much more believable is Brent Hatley went here. I'm going to pretend I'm hypnotized and I'm going to get a super duper amount of airtime. And that's what happened.
Oh, you think he was just working a gimmick?
Hell yeah. Afghanistan banana stand. Get the fuck out of here.
I don't think he's that good of an actor. I've seen his work.
It was terrible. It was only funny because the word was Afghanistan bananas. That's the only reason it was.
But no,
funny.
comedian hypnotist, I think there's some level of truth to it. I
No,
think
I
some
think
people are
zero
just
level.
easy to hypnotize.
No.
We could not do it. It's not
because being hypnotized is there's no hypnotist in the world who can make people do anything. He can give suggestions that they might kind of follow in their everyday life, like not smoking or drinking. He can't make you walk across the room and say Heil Hitler. He can't do that. That's a bad example.
Yeah, Jesus. Of all the things.
He can't make you do nothing. These people
Because
want to do it because
what
they
are
want
you
to be part of a
supposed to-
comedy show.
What are you supposed to be able to do as a hypnotist?
Nothing.
Are you supposed to be able to change people's, like, I can get you to quit smoking?
Yes.
Yes.
That kind of
Yes.
thing? So
Yeah.
why wouldn't they be doing that all the time if that was real?
They do.
Do they?
I mean, there's psychologists and psychotherapists.
They
and,
hypnotize people?
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
How come you never
There's
hear
not
of it?
that. It's
I never
not
hear
that
about
prevalent.
that.
well, because
Well, it
even
should
if
be
you
prevalent if
heard
it
about it, you
works.
wouldn't believe it.
But if it works,
Might not
why
work.
aren't they doing that all the
It's up in
time?
the
I mean,
air.
why don't you
It's
hear
up in
about
the
it?
air still.
Remind me to change my windscreen over there.
It's very difficult to get Mike to change his mind. He has dug in on certain things that he's just not going to open up
Very
to.
well researched, man. I research this stuff a lot.
Well,
I would be curious. I would like to know how much they hypnotize people.
quite a bit.
How do you
I
know?
don't think shit.
Yeah, because it's just one of those things. You how do I know? I guess because there's a whole stream of income in people that do it for a living. There's these
Like what,
doctors that do
psychologists,
hypnotizing and
psychiatrists?
yeah.
It's like one in every city.
One quack in every city.
Thank you for calling Dr. Charlatan's office.
You're getting sleepy.
Give me your money.
You will not notice I'm touching your breast now. That's what you get with a hypnotist.
I mean, it is kind of weird to think about. If you are a doctor that hypnotizes people and gets them to stop smoking, wouldn't your business model go out after the first hour, right? If you're that good, like, why would you need multiple sessions? So it does bring up an interesting.
Wouldn't you have a
multiple-
line out your
multiple.
door of people that were
That-
trying
see,
to
you
quit
wouldn't need-
smoking?
you
No, because you got people like you that don't believe it to the start, and they'll go, "I'm not going to go spend my money, and
Well, I
he's going to
don't-
pretend to get me. He's not going to make me stop
But it
Well,
smoking."
no, I don't believe it because I never see it. But if it was happening and people were coming out going, "Yeah, I quit smoking. He hypnotized me, and I quit smoking," you think you'd have a line out
The word
door?
of mouth. Word of
Yeah,
mouth.
of people just like, "I'm going to that guy. He hypnotized people."
Ain't on your side. Show,
like
you know,
to-
live from the guy that can cure from smoking.
And if you ever did get
guarantee.
hypnotized, you got to have someone like I'd have to have some like Mike stay in the room with them, right? You don't want someone to hypnotize you and do some bullshit or put some shit in your brain. Oh,
I think Mike would be fine. And furthermore, I think it would be funny if Mike got hypnotized and touched. It would be the ultimate.
It's all coming back now.
Yeah, you were a naysayer for so long that all of a sudden one session and you find out that you're cured and you were touched.
I was not trying to resist Rich Guzzi. I was like, oh, here we go. And I was like, relax. I was like, here we go, Rich, hypnotize me. And he was like doing a spiel. And
You're too cynical. Your brain's not wired for it.
because it's
you
bullshit.
wanted to be
'cause
touched.
I wanted to be touched. I said, touch me, Rich, touch me.
I didn't want to be hypnotized. I was fighting it. Not to say that he could have gotten me, because he couldn't have. But I was like the whole time I'm going, I don't want him to get me. Like, what if I got hypnotized? Like, with the cuck there? I don't know what's going to
Yeah.
happen.
What was he saying to hypnotize? Like, was he doing the "you're getting very"?
I don't know. He had his
sleepy thing?
balls out. I don't know what exactly.
Swinging them back and forth.
Spray painted gold.
Like a straight pendulum. No, what he did was, well, he kind of talked to us calmly, if I remember correctly, and he sort of asked us some questions, right? And
Yeah.
it was sort of like easing into it. And then after about 5 minutes, he goes, I don't think you guys are good candidates. And then he brought Hatley back in there. Hatley was under like that.
Afghanistan, Afghanistan.
Right. So that lends the question of, I think it's possible. If you're dealing with a weak-minded individual, I think it's possible.
Okay. Well, we
So he was just talking
dared-
calmly to you, and that's what's supposed to hypnotize.
I mean, him and
begged it
we-
to. I mean, he was like, "Yeah, okay, so you're receding into the blackness," and we were like, "Yeah, right, buddy. I'm not receding nowhere. I'm in the green room."
I gotta go look that up. Who hypnotizes people?
Psychiatrists, I believe, do.
Yeah.
Or whichever one is more fake. Psychologists.
I
do.
think psychologists.
Psychiatrist gives
bullshit.
drugs. They don't need to
Yeah.
hypnotise.
What about a
them.
psychotherapist? That sounds like somebody that would do something like
sounds
that.
like a made-up thing.
New market for it. I don't know.
I'll have to look it up and see who does it.
So no demonic possessions, no nothing. It's all bullshit to you.
It's all bullshit. I believe anything when I see it. Show me a video.
Not even a video.
I could show you a
fake
video, but
now
again, you're not
you
going to
can't
believe
believe
it.
it's AI now. I'll never believe
ghosts,
anything
They
again.
fake the videos.
Yeah,
That's what ghosts. Nobody's really seen a ghost.
No, they haven't.
Do you see ghosts?
you
Are you
can't
You're not
see
supposed to see ghosts.
I don't know.
Ooh, it's Halloween time.
Man, we went way long here.
That's okay.
So I'm totally confused. What do we do? What do we do now? What the fuck do we
time
do
is
now? It's 7:20. We went an hour and 20 minutes
So just
because
take a
we've been
break.
we haven't hung for 3 weeks.
Oh man, I know.
It's been here's AI. This is what AI is used for. It's like why
Are you telling me those pandas really can't eat sushi like that?
this is what AI is.
Are you
used-
telling me you really thought J.D. Vance was? Would you say he was doing in a video?
laughing at with Theo
No, Tim
Vaughn?
Walls. He's in
Walls,
like
yeah.
black lingerie looking stuff, and he's dancing to Shakira or something. Is that not real?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. We're gonna have to
I would
Google
venture
that
to
too.
say it's not real,
After
unless it was like a Halloween party like 20 years ago or
you
something.
never know.
Perhaps.
Let's watch these pandas eating Chinese. This is what they use AI for.
I mean, that's pretty solid AI.
Alright, so if they can do this, where's the fake AI within politics? Why isn't it just inundating? Or they wait? See, they knew
might be.
they knew we would get jaded by it, so they're waiting till the last week to throw the AI at us.
Maybe
Our minds will be blown for a week.
Where's the AI going to get? Where's it going to go? Right? Where's it going to filter down to? It filter down on X typically, right? That's going to be the place where the platform for it. And then what's going to happen is Community Notes is going to come along and flag it and go, this is AI, and and try to tag as much of that as possible. Meanwhile, Community Notes isn't going to touch the pandas eating sushi and have to worry about them saying, hey, this is
they'll be.
fake,
I
by
think
the
they'll
way.
be preaching to the choir. I don't think people who are like a lot of people on the left don't go on X because they're just anti-Musk and everything. So they just hear that. They just see on CNN that this was real pandas eating. They don't see that it was fake.
You're
CNN
right.
says it
You
was
mean
real.
people
There's
think
a
that's
s-
real?
No, but I'm using it as an example.
Oh.
There's going to be a certain amount of morons,
Yeah, we're done.
and
We're a country full of morons.
I mean, I'm getting fooled by AI sometimes, and so are you. So
I get fooled by non-AI sometimes.
and you're as cynical as they come.
I know. Frakes mocks me for it. He's like, "You think that was real?" I was like, "Oh, I feel stupid now. I feel real stupid now."
Yeah, I get God occasionally. I don't know.
All right, time for a break.
All right, leave me alone. I was looking for something to play, but I ain't got nothing. I should have prepared. I was scrambling. Oh, I know what. I'll play.
I'm just watching Mike just
I'm
play
lost.
this.
I know words.
No, I don't want to play that. Not that right now. Oh, and don't hit that. We'll hit this. Wait, this did not take a. See, my what I like about Jews really took off on TikTok, 250,000 views, but but Ned's Liam Payne jumper song did not. Very, very upset about that.
It's very insensitive of you.
I mean, Third Eye Blind, Liam Payne, it goes without saying. All right, we'll be right back with more of The Hang. I swear. Hit it, Ned.
Did you just jump off of that ledge, my friend? 'Cause you look like a real cocky fucking Englishman. I guess that you were sick of all of your millions. See you when you land. There's one less in the band. What happened, boy? Did you go insane? Trashed your room, were you on cocaine? And then you said so long. Did you make a thud? Was it loud? Did you do a backflip, make mama proud? And then you said so long. Now it's time to wave goodbye to Liam. What a shame, he couldn't take the fame. Did you just jump off of that ledge, my blame it all on your boobs. Those damn things are huge. He walked in with no underwear. You cannot say no. So he dropped his robe. His name's Garth Brooks and he does not care. And he ignored your cries as he spread both your thighs. You thought that he had gone insane. When Garth's in the mood, you'll be his finger food, and no one will hear you complain. 'Cause rumors are Garth Brooks a rapist, but he'll say your claims have no basis. He'll have his way. You've got no say. And his ego is real inflated. Feel his
Yeah, suck our dicks! Suck our dicks! Suck our dicks! Suck our dicks! Yeah, suck our dicks! Suck our dicks! Suck our dicks!
Little woman I love is named Ramona. She kinda looks like Tempest Storm, and she can dance like a little Egypt. She works down the Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, it pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Ramona's got a keen sense of humor. She got a tattoo down her arm. It's of a python eating a little mouse wearing a sailor hat that says Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, it pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. I asked Ramona how come she works there. She says, well, it's got its charm. There's nothing to do in the winter now, then some kid gets bit at the Snake Farm. Snake Farm, it just sounds nasty. Snake Farm, it pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention something. This is a sing-along. Really. Here goes Snake Farm. It just sounds nasty. Snake Farm pretty much is Snake Farm. It's a reptile house, Snake Farm. Ain't exactly Kumbaya. Here's the music, folks.
Welcome back to The Hang with Mike and Matt. Don't forget the meet and greet, November 16th. Joe Whiskey's, 8 o'clock.
You're going to burn it down that night, too?
Burn it down.
Oh, man.
I'm drinking too much. There's too much going on. It's just a nonstop drinking.
Yeah, and you go, I'm gonna get through this, and then I'll chill out, and then it's something else that pops up.
Something else, yeah. They say it's bad for you.
Yeah.
But it feels all right.
Well, you know, you think about all the other drugs that are demonized or were.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know about you, but this marijuana, this Amendment 3 that's going on here in Florida.
Yep.
Man, I'm having a tough time even figuring that one out.
I am too.
It is wild to see these commercials with these sheriffs going, we need to focus our time and attention on
real crime.
And marijuana can be laced with dangerous drugs like fentanyl. And it's like, okay, now they're just using fentanyl as like this little crutch word.
I've never heard of anybody dying from weed-laced fentanyl. Fentanyl-laced weed.
Fentanyl-laced cocaine all the time.
All the time.
Fentanyl-laced weed, never heard of it in my life. And they're
making up a thing. Now we're going to start getting weed, weed and fentanyl in it, I guess.
But I'm just confused about this Amendment 3 to begin with. I don't know if it's good or bad. I mean, both are making compelling commercials, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking, as much as I wish it was good, that it's bad. Because you can't, it's only to be these big, rich people who are going to profit from this.
Big weed will continue to control big weed.
It's going to be totally big weed. If you grow a plant in your backyard, you'll still be subject to the law of going to jail.
Which is crazy.
And they'll do something to the weed and make it shitty. They'll take away any medicinal properties, or they'll do something. It's not good. I think I'm going to vote for no.
That was an easy. Yeah, you just worked through that problem.
Well, because I see, like you said, the sheriff, and he's like, nobody's arrested more people for marijuana than me.
Yeah, I've seen problems firsthand.
Yeah, but now we're going to stop. We're going to quit ruining people's lives. And it's like, well, you just admitted you ruined people's lives for nothing for a long ass time.
Yes.
How is that a commercial?
And I'll tell you the other thing that's a little suspect, and I always find it suspect when these political ads do this, where they go, and it's going to raise billions of dollars for law enforcement and education. The two buzzwords.
That's bad.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm going, all right, well, let's go back to the Florida Lotto, and that started, and that was supposed to raise all kinds of money for education, and we see where that went. But I'm going, now it's not going to raise money. I just don't.
No,
I don't buy it.
It does not.
I just don't believe it.
But I've just recently heard a commercial about how the lottery has given billions to education.
It probably has.
But it's like, they just, every penny the lotto puts in, the other guys take out.
Yeah. But yeah, the Amendment 3, I'm just confused on that. I just think it's funny to see law enforcement now saying cracking down on weed is pointless. That's basically what they're saying.
It doesn't pass the smell test, in my opinion. It seems a little fishy.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why I'm leaning towards no.
All right, I'll vote no too then, on my imaginary ballot.
And then when I die from fentanyl laced weed. We can say, boy, what a fool he was.
I don't know why a drug dealer would lace his weed with fentanyl. You're killing your customer.
I've never understood it.
It doesn't make sense at all.
Or the cocaine. Cocaine? Why do they put some people? Trace, I can't remember if Trace or somebody said that they do it so, like people go, oh, that's some really good stuff.
Yeah, but it's a fine equation.
Is that the equation? People just buy cocaine to get cocaine.
But you get, it depends on how stepped on the coke is, right? So obviously you want to get it as pure as possible. And I would imagine if fentanyl is as good as everybody says it is, you sprinkle a little of that on top. Now it's magic, right? But the problem is if you do too much, which in fentanyl's world is a very, very minuscule, tiny amount.
Yep.
Then, you're teetering and then you're dead. So
I don't know if I'm buying it. Did you hear just today or yesterday they stopped at the border enough fentanyl to kill every man, woman, and child, not only in this solar system, but in 7 solar systems. But they did. They said every person in the United States. Enough fentanyl. Well, they keep saying that shit. It's like, what does that even mean?
Well,
it's the stupidest.
Yeah, and furthermore, it gets really weird when I see the drug commercials for fentanyl, like literally by prescription. It's fentanyl. It reminds me of the OxyContin thing that happened.
You'd think they just back off. Okay, we made a mistake. Going to back off of the fentanyl. Pretend nothing ever happened. We're not going to sell it anymore. No, they double down on the fentanyl.
Yeah, they're you can get it by prescription in the way that they do fentanyl, but yet they're demonizing fentanyl because it's coming in illegally. But yet we're prescribing it legally in the country.
And maybe people go to the doctor and the doctor offers them fentanyl and they're like, well, it's from a doctor. And I've seen people dying on this shit. This must be some good shit. I'll take the fentanyl, doc, because it's legal. It must be not going to kill me. It's legal.
Yeah. It would be like ketamine. Okay, ketamine.
All these people hanging like this.
Yeah.
That's all PR for the pharmaceuticals. So people are going, yeah, put me on the legal version of that. I want the legal version of this.
There's something more to it. Something else is going on there.
What is going on?
It's gotta be big pharmaceutical. It just has to be. There's something just too tied in weird about it.
Yeah, nothing is ever as it seems.
No.
Crack cocaine that was put in the ghetto by the CIA to put a generation of black men behind bars and so they could increase the welfare state. Nobody ever talks about that shit.
No.
They're talking about Kamala Harris working at McDonald's.
So did she or did she not work at McDonald's? I'm kidding. Let's get to the real issues here. Oh, God.
Hi. I did appreciate that. Like, that was one of the things Theo Von, he was like talking about fentanyl. He's like, man, you can't even do cocaine in America anymore. And J.D. Vance just started cracking up. And it's like, I know J.D. Vance is probably a con man, just like everybody else. But he's well spoken, and he did. I think he won the debate. I don't think Tim Walz did horrible. A lot of people do think he did horrible. I don't think he did that horrible. But J.D. Vance was pretty good. I like a guy with a sense of humor.
Yeah.
I've seen bits on SNL where Trump is making fun of himself, and it's like, I also like a person who can make fun of themselves, and you don't often see that in Washington. And these people are a bunch of turds. They got no sense of humor.
That's true. And you can do both. You can have a sense of humor as long as you don't have a sense of humor about things that matter, like the debt. And you go, hey, look, I can laugh all day at these jokes, but you know what's not funny?
Yeah.
Is being $38 trillion in debt. Then it's time to get serious, I think you can have best of both worlds, but it's, like you said, it's difficult to come across. Few and far between.
Yeah, what do we got? We got 2 weeks from yesterday. That's when they deal. So next week for sure. I just don't see that something big isn't going to happen.
Oh, the October surprise?
Oh, they've been throwing stuff at us the whole time. And so now what is it?
You can't imagine something more surprising than multiple assassination attempts on the opponent. And that to me is a surprise.
And how quickly they faded.
gone. News cycle of like 24 hours.
I used to be a little bigger news when the president was, he was actually shot.
Yeah. I don't know. I am still fascinated with the Diddy thing.
I don't know if anything's going to happen.
There was some prison call that came out where he's talking in code or something like that.
I just saw that too on Twitter. I didn't. Did you watch it?
No,
I didn't watch it. I almost watched it, and then I didn't.
Yeah.
They're like,
because I don't know if it's real or
they're
fake.
like, what could Diddy possibly have been talking about? And they were saying some kind of code that was indecipherable about something.
Yeah, something like don't say anything over the phones and tell them to get rid of the pizza boxes and recycle the plastic or something like that. You know,
He was talking an apology, wasn't he?
yeah, something like that.
The pizza boxes and the plastic. Yeah, we know what you're talking about.
I was I don't know if you have your email or have access to your email to pull up. I sent you a link for this when the Diddy news was coming out. This is a couple weeks, ago. But this song, my wife sent it to me, and I'm going, wow. But it sounds so much like Justin Bieber that you're like,
it's not Justin Bieber.
So that's the thing. I had
Is
to
it
look it
AI?
up. It's AI, but it's a Justin Bieber song. But I kid you not. Now, whether you love or hate Justin Bieber, this is by far the best song Justin Bieber has ever made or not made in this case. Like, it sounds like him.
Lost myself at a Diddy party. Didn't know that's how it goes. I was in it for a new Ferrari, but it cost me way more than my soul. Wasn't worth all the fortune and fame. All the girls never walking the same. Signed a paper so he never has to ever say sorry. Lost myself at a Diddy party.
Pretty catchy. It's
So
a pretty
good,
good song.
right?
It's a pretty good song.
Lost myself at a Diddy party. Didn't know that's how it goes. I was in it for a new Ferrari, but it cost me way more than myself at a
That's
Diddy
it.
party.
Oh, did it just repeat?
It's just that.
Okay.
But I had to actually look it up and go, did he do that song? Was that real?
But it's not him.
It is not.
How
him.
awesome would that be?
It would be great. I think
I
the world is waiting for Bieber's response on this Diddy accusation.
I don't think anything's ever going to come of it. Just like the Epstein deal. I mean,
Well, hold on. Something did come of the. Are you talking about the list, or you talking?
But I mean, wouldn't that be the thing to come of it? Epstein, Lord knows what happened to him, whether he's dead or alive, or and if the government murdered him, and it sure seemed like the government murdered him, and then they don't give the list out, and it's like, well, what's up with that shit? And
So
Prince Andrew can just like pay like £300,000 and get away with pedophilia. It's like, what's going on here?
didn't Trump say something about if he was elected, the Epstein list is getting released?
I thought I heard that.
I mean, look, that makes me. It's the stupid things, right? I know. The national debt is on my top priority. Illegal immigration. There's a few things, right? But if we're talking about secondary kind of like bullshit stuff that you just kind of want to happen, the JFK assassination papers, that would be nice to see, and the Epstein list.
Epstein list would be, I think it'd blow the lid off a lot of stuff.
I think
it'd be crazy. Yeah, but I just don't see it ever happening.
If you were on the fence and you're teetering between Harris or Trump, and Trump goes
Epstein
list, and you go, nah, I'm gonna still vote for Harris. It's like, man, how could you vote against getting the Epstein list released?
Yeah, especially after you saw him working at McDonald's, dishing out those fries. And everybody's like, it was staged. It's like, of course it was staged. You think they're going to throw the ex-president in McDonald's and have random people drive up?
Yeah, the guy just almost got killed twice.
Stupidest shit ever. Of course it was staged.
Yeah, it's funny. The likes of a Keith Olbermann, who is become like the world's giant douche.
What I used to like Keith Olbermann.
know, but every time he's getting
I hate. Now I like
such a curmudgeon.
I loathe him.
Yes,
he's like an angry old woman. An angry old spinster who never even slept with a man in her whole life. He's so
clutching his pearls all day. Yeah.
Wow, what a loathsome person.
You do know that Trump McDonald's video footage was staged. It's like, yeah, Keith, we know.
You don't think
Relax,
I
guy.
don't think the people who were driving up and got within a foot of the president weren't vetted and searched. It was probably a Secret Service minivan that the guy drove up in. They're not going to let some guy drive up a C4 under his minivan.
Olbermann is, goddamn, Olbermann's dumb.
There's certain people. It's like the
Like, he lost all sense of humor.
Oh,
It's all gone. And he used to be sort of a wise ass.
He used to be funny too, because he would
do like a 5-minute monologue in the front,
and it was very, he was
tongue in cheek,
a little high-minded, pretty an pseudo-intellectual monologue on a sports channel, and it was pretty good. Now he's just a bitch.
Oh, total bitch.
Like Mark Hamill from Star Wars. I'm trying to think of the top bitches. Like Rob Reiner's a top bitch.
Well, so yes, I agree. He's a top bitch too. But any of the actors and all that stuff, I'll put in a different bitch category. Olbermann's in like a news bitch category.
Yeah.
Like, he should know better. Like, he should be able to have a little bit more, I don't know, tact or something. Instead, he just sounds like a bitch.
I don't even get it, and I don't even understand. I don't care what party you're in. Trump, like Donald, I just think it's a very fascinating topic. Donald Trump he used to be insanely popular. He's always been on Stern. He's been on Letterman. He's on Saturday Night Live. He's got his own hit reality show for several years. People love Donald Trump. Now they hate him worse than any person has ever been hated before. And I'm like, what? How does that even happen?
Oh,
that's crazy.
I know. And the greatest footage is like when he was on The View and Whoopi's like, Donald, you the best, and all this. And then you fast forward and you're like vilifying him, and he's the worst person in the world. And it's like, it was not that long ago.
It's not that long ago. No.
Like, where did that?
And they were kissing him.
Yep.
It's like, that just shows you how fake something is.
Something's
really fake.
Yeah. It's
Are The View, you just given a script, and I guess when you're a yenta of the age of Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar, you're like, I got to keep this gig. And my gig is saying how much I hate Donald Trump.
Do they even have anybody that's on the right anymore? Because for a while they had.
Yeah, they always have the token. But I don't know who.
I don't know who the token is, because the old token one, like, quit. Like, she had enough.
Yeah.
Because it's like 3 people that are hardcore left, and then you're trying to be right leaning, but you're outnumbered, and you're
by 3 to 1. And the audience is all viewed out.
Yeah, and
left wing. The problem with America, that demographic, I think, is a huge problem.
The ones that stay home and watch TV from like 11 a.m. to noon.
Oh my God!
And hinge on Whoopi's word.
And believe everything in, they only watch one. They believe everything in their algorithm. It's like, see, are you gonna vote? I may actually vote. I haven't voted for 20 years, but I may vote. I'm gonna vote for Trump because a bunch of people acted like that makes me a threat to America, and I'm like, that's the biggest bunch of bullshit I ever heard. So I'm gonna just do it just to spite people.
Yeah, you're going for the spite vote.
I'm going for the spite vote. I really think I'm doing a spite vote. Because I don't even believe in the process.
And
but I'm going for the spite vote.
Even with the angle of the fascist thing that they're really working hard now, right? It's
hard.
like, oh, this is
hard.
This is going to become a fascist country. And I'm going, all right, well, I mean, if it does lean that way, let's just say it leans that way. Only for a couple of years. And then the election process starts all over again. Pendulum swings back, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
He can only run for 2 terms. I don't care how fascist, it is what it is.
And maybe, never mind. I'm going to move right along. Yeah. Got to clean things up a little bit.
Yeah.
Got to clean things up a little bit, if you know what I mean. And to drain the swamp, yeah. See, I don't think it's possible to politically ever drain the swamp. It has to be done in different ways which cannot be spoken of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Just put RFK in there to drain the swamp. Hey, him and his family, those bunch of psychos go in there and have them do what they do. Have them do what the Kennedys like to do.
What a bunch of fucking weirdos.
What would the term Camelot come from, anyways?
Camelot is an ancient, well, not ancient, but
No, but I mean with the Kennedys.
because since if you can think of the best thing you think of would be Camelot, the mythical, wonderful kingdom back in medieval times where everything was wonderful
Okay.
and everyone was perfect. For some reason, the Kennedys were dubbed as that when they were a bunch of like
They're all psychos.
psychopaths and tards.
They're the
and-
furthest thing from Camelot.
Man, that's what media was the same back as they are now. They're just spinning lies. Like I think he had Marilyn Monroe killed, and he just got away with it. He's like, he's like, kill her. She wants to say she's gonna spill the beans. Kill her.
Yeah. Have them release that paper too.
Yeah, I want that. We want the Marilyn Monroe documents.
RFK was talking about his family political history or whatever, and he's like, "Yeah, my brother, all this stuff." But he was really dating it back to all his generations of politicians, like where they've been and what they've done, and it was like a 10-minute dissertation of his family. And what positions they've held through time and all this stuff. And all I'm thinking to myself is, Jesus Christ, what a bunch of grifters.
It's all a grift. It's a grift. Politics is a huge grift.
His whole family tree is one giant grift. And he's and then they voted for him, and then he became the state assemblyman and did this, went on to do this. And it's like, your whole Camelot is sucking off the country. And the country all is looking up to you. And I don't understand why. Like, I don't mean that in a bad way.
Back when JFK was running for president against Nixon the first time, there was, I believe, like Kennedy's dad, JFK's dad, he was a bigwig wherever it was, Chicago or whatever, and he stole that election. And so that's been happening since the 60s. They've been stealing elections since the 60s.
Who was the good-looking fellow that passed away in the plane? What was his name?
RFK, wasn't it? Robert JFK Jr.? Was it JFK Jr.?
Yeah, it was Junior. Yeah, I think it was Junior. Imagine if he was still alive.
He was too good looking. They were like, no, your name is Kennedy and you're that good looking?
Because he wasn't in politics.
Oh, but
I'm sure he was going to be if he was still alive.
He's got to do that.
Yeah.
All he has to do is flip his fingers and he's in politics and people are like, oh, look at. He makes me swoon.
He was a handsome devil. What do you got?
He's a pilot. I think he was,
he had vertigo, right?
A pretty bright guy.
He was flying around. And, is that
like he got plane vertigo? He doesn't really have vertigo, right?
No, he got. Yeah, he was in the plane. Is that the term I'm thinking of?
Possibly. It's where he
didn't know where he was.
He didn't know where. So you can't, which I don't really understand. But you can be like going straight down to the ocean and you don't realize it.
Yeah,
you could be going down, but but I would be thinking you're going. Ah!
I think that's what they said happened to him.
Yeah, he got blasted out of the sky with a torpedo
by one of the other Kennedys. Take him out.
Yeah, he's
much. Not in a family grift.
Yeah, he's trouble. He's trouble. People take him seriously. John.
Yes.
John Jr. is my name, and I crashed my aeroplane.
You did do a sweet parody of that back in the day.
I was always, just enjoyed those. If somebody famous died, it's like, oh, that's fun. Especially if it works good, where you can find a good like him, and he's gonna get a good airplane song. That's good. That's a snappy little tune.
Oh, dude, I almost forgot. You will not believe what I ended up finding the other day. I was just going through I don't have a lot of I try to eliminate paperwork and all that stuff over the years.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I holding on to this for, right? So I'm going through folders. I'm trash. I find this piece of paper. I hadn't seen this thing in years. You ready for this?
Yep, I'm ready. Oh my God.
You already know what it is.
I know what it is. Oh, do you have a security guard outside to take care of that for you?
Securing this wonderful piece of paper from I.O. World Media Incorporated. My common stock certificate for when we were doing Radio I.O. from, how many shares do you think I have? Come on. Look at this certificate, bro. This is an official Radio IO stock certificate, much like everybody else got ripped off.
750,000.
My man, you are low.
$1 million.
I've got 1 million shares of Radio IO stock. What did the listeners get that dropped the tray? What did they get?
Was it 100 shares?
No, it had to be more than that.
Really? Well, you're getting 3
I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter.
But you're getting a
You could have gotten $1 million too. It makes no difference.
You're getting a 3-year subscription, right?
Yeah.
What else?
It was access to a catalog, some catalog of stuff.
Okay, and then the IO stock.
Yep, the IO stock.
It's
And
$300.
It's $300. Surely somebody out there was a sucker enough to drop the tray and knows.
Oh, I know Ned's Navy dropped the tray.
I'm sorry, Ned's Navy.
How many shares was it? How many shares was it, Ned's Navy, of IO stock?
Because I literally don't remember.
So, I mean, if what you're holding right now is only worth like $1 a share, you're a wealthy man right now.
Yes, if only. However, you know what's funny is I don't even know who signed this. Like, there's no. This is what's funny. When I was looking at it, I'm like, this is hilarious because there's no names on it. There's 3 signatures, but you know how sometimes you'd have a name and then it's printed. Print your, print the name on. I don't know who any of these signatures are. Like, I don't know if there's one is Tom Beans. I don't know who.
Man.
It could be anybody. I have no clue who signed this. But yeah, 1 million shares. Thanks, Tom. What did you have? Did you have 1 million too, or did you have more?
I had 1 million shares.
So combined, we've got
2 million shares.
We got $2.
We could start some kind of huge venture together. Can we cash those in immediately? You know,
I just found this hilarious.
I mean,
like, I'm keeping this as a reminder.
You know, how stupid am I just to not realize that whole IO thing was, just a get rich, line their pockets quick. And that my $1 million a share is probably a joke that they laugh about in private. And it's like, fuck, why didn't I realize that sooner?
Yeah.
It's like, and what a shitty thing to do to your employees.
They cash out early.
Fucking shitty thing to do.
They're able to do whatever they want. And then, we're left holding a piece of paper that is worth more than the actual stock itself.
Which was, although it was always pie in the sky, when you're trying to make a decision about your future, and then and not only all this, but also you get 1 million shares, and if it only goes to 50 cents a share, that's $500,000. And sure, you're like, sure, let's do it.
Yeah, it is an interesting perspective to think about what they were doing behind the scenes and how they were probably. I mean, they had to know.
The whole time.
They had to know.
The whole time.
So yeah, they're laughing at everybody, all of them.
We'll just tell them we'll give them 1 million shares. $1 million. Tom Bean's like, we'll give them 10,000 shares and beef. No, we'll give them 1 million shares of stock a piece. And boy, that don't
makes no difference. If you could give us 10 million, it makes no difference. So yeah, I'm curious how much the people that signed up and give their hard-earned money
Let's see if Ned's
towards this racket, what they got taken for.
How many shares Ned's Navy? I don't know if he ever fessed up.
Was it 1,000?
B Bumpy says, I'm thinking dropping the tray only got us 100 shares, but he doesn't remember. Nobody wants to. Well, everybody's tried to.
Nobody wants to fess up.
They've all repressed it from their merit. This is just.
Oh, you got your certificate?
Now you've got 2 million.
2 million.
Woo! Let's
We're rich.
We need to put those up for auction.
That would be hilarious. This is a good old school classic item. If you were
boy, talk about
if
a
you
collector's item. Hey, can you possibly be gentle with those?
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies.
That is a collector. Yeah, don't fondle. Don't get them grubby fingers on them. Those are worth a lot.
Thanks.
Those are worth a lot of money, Matt.
Wow. So
To somebody.
actually, okay. So yeah. Dude, that's hilarious. How come you and I got the same amount of shares? I guess it doesn't matter, but I would have thought maybe you deserved 2 million of nothing.
Boy, I really wish I had 2 million shares of nothing more. Wish I had a million more shares of nothing more than you. That would make me feel really good.
Look, somebody cheer bits. Those bits are worth more than both of these stock certificates.
Yep, these are worth a lighter to burn them. Well, that was I heard a thingy, but then nothing happened.
Oh,
That's a weird. Something usually happens.
I.O. World. I remember I called a couple years later. I called whoever the new CEO, whoever they sold the company to, or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever happened. I don't even. It's a whatever LLC they folded and whatever the hell happened. And I called this guy, and this guy was like, "Man, I don't know what to tell you." Some guy in New York that bought it, and he's like, "I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to tell you." I'm like, "I want money. I want. What do I do with my stock?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I don't know what to tell you."
Is that even a legitimate thing?
Well, that's the thing.
Is it even a legitimate thing?
Nobody ever told us what to do. Like, did you ever ask for direction on your stock and say, "Hey, man, can I unload this?" Like, ever? Did you ever go to Bean and go, "Hey, I get we're not on IO anymore, but like, what do I do with this now?" Or did you just completely write it off?
I wrote it off pretty quickly, I think. I'm pretty sure I did.
And you worked for the Cuck how long? This is in 2011.
11. And I worked for 8 more years.
After getting rooked.
After getting rooked. Oh, it's and it's not rocket
I'm just now
science.
thinking about this.
Yeah, that was a fucking rube.
Wow.
But when you reach the pinnacle, you think, well, fuck, there's no reason we can't get back there. But the reason we can't get back there is because the person in charge
Is writing worthless stock certificates
is a lunatic
to his staff and his listeners.
that just can't function in society, even when stuff is handed to him on a silver platter.
Oh, I got more. I'll have to. I hate to say this because I don't mind saying stuff on the show, but the other stuff I got to tell you off air. Like, it's
Oh, we can't wait.
you're gonna flip your shit.
Flip my shit.
Yeah,
It takes
and
a lot for me to flip my shit.
I'm
buddy.
well aware, and I don't even want to do it for you to flip your shit, but it's on my brain.
Okay.
I'll tell you later.
All right. Well, I'm ill.
Is that it?
I'm ill prepared as usual.
Be sure to download us on Spotify and TuneIn and all the major platforms. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. Cluster F Show. Is that right? All that stuff?
All that stuff. Cluster F Show. Twitch.tv/Cluster F Show. A like, subscribe, YouTube. Get it all. And tomorrow morning, Cluster F at 8 o'clock. Hi. We'll be right back. No, we won't. We're done. We'll be doing the OT. About time we got the OT back up and running. Man, that's a rough. As far as streaming, that's a rough 3 weeks with the 2 hurricanes and the flu. And no internet for 9 days. And it's like...
It felt like that South Park episode where they go west for the we're heading east, we're heading west to find us some internet. Like that's how I felt. Like I was like, I need internet.
That's how I felt. Trace brought his can of internet.
No, what did Ned Navy say? 1,000?
30,000.
30,000.
But how many shares is that? Like
How many shares did they have?
I think he bought all the shares. Ned's Navy bought all the shares. 30,000 shares.
Hold on. So how many shares were there total? Like, did they just have like no cap?
Perhaps we should have had an accountant look at this, Matt. Perhaps when we make these life-changing decisions.
Are you saying we shouldn't have trusted? Like, seriously.
Well, the writing was, we were going to IO.
How many shares?
And
I know,
our
you're right.
votes votes meant nothing.
But how many shares were offered?
A gazillion. That was when we should have known. When he said there's a gazillion shares.
There's 36 trillion shares.
I've got a trillion. Tom Bean has a trillion. But the Yakkos all have a trillion. And you guys get 1 million. A gazillion shares one day, buddy.
Oh,
All right.
Sorry to hear that, Ned's Navy.
Yeah, look.
For real.
But, we're in the same boat as you. We fucking bought, I mean, we obviously took it with a huge grain of salt, but in the back of your mind, you're like, we were just on.
Like, we were doing what we're supposed to do.
And we were at the time, we were hugely popular.
Oh, dude, I'll take it one step further. My in-laws bought shares. And I feel terrible.
Don't you? Yeah, but it's not, and it has nothing to do with you because you gave your all to make this product what you thought could be.
To the point where my in-laws go, "What do you think?" And I go, "Man, I think I think we got something." So they bought in, and like everybody's out, and it's almost like it needs to be looked into.
And it's like. It's not pie in the sky when you think of it. What year was that?
2011.
And although that doesn't seem like that long ago, in the world of podcasting and internet radio, that's the cusp of when it started to, that's like right around Pandora.
Yeah, that was the time to make a move.
So
this was
that,
dated April 27th, 2011.
That could have, if with the right marketing. That could have we could have been a Pandora, we could have been a publicly traded company. We could have been,
or was it, or did everybody get hustled?
We got hustled. That's not even. That's probably like a huge criminal thing they did.
That's what I'm saying.
Those aren't even stock certificates.
I don't know. I don't even know.
I don't know. I don't even know what to tell you. Yeah.
It seems like a problem.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure hanging, Matt.
You too.
And we'll come back and hang some more for the OT. And thanks for tuning in, guys. And I'm just done. I'm done. I was getting ready to play some Ned bits. We're out.
See ya.
We're out. See ya. Thanks for tuning in.